presentation is Oxygen, a double-edged sword for life forms. Please make him welcome.
We all think of oxygen as necessary for life, right? But the first forms of life on Earth didn't have any oxygen. And in fact, when oxygen did arrive, it almost completely wiped them out. But some life forms did survive, and this in time led to the amazing biodiversity that we see on the planet today. See, that's the thing about oxygen. It's actually a double-edged sword. This is because oxygen is very good at changing or mutating our DNA. And my research asks, why did some life forms go extinct while others literally begin to take over the world? Well, studying evolution has come a very long way from looking at dusty old fossils. And this is because we've actually figured out how to mimic evolution in the lab. But no one before me has thought to look at the role that oxygen has played. So to figure this out, I took a sample of these blue cells, which can grow both with and without oxygen. They're called E. coli, but I refer to them as the original cell. This is because at the very beginning of my experiment, I split this sample into 4. They each then grew in either oxygen-rich or oxygen-free conditions for 4,000 bacterial generations. This is a little under 2 human years, but if bacteria lived as long as humans do, this would have taken me 80,000 years to complete. During this time, the cells adapt differently to their different environments, and we actually see this at the end of the experiment with the evolution of these evolved cells. So take, for example, this handsome orange fellow. He has evolved a whole third eye, maybe to see oxygen better. Or this happy green fellow has developed hair, maybe to collect compounds like oxygen. These different evolved cells arise due to different changes or mutations in their DNA. And I then needed to sequence their entire DNA to find which mutations were responsible for these changes. But that's only half the story. Wouldn't it be cool if I could tell which mutation was the best, whether having a third eye meant for a better cell than the evolution of all that hair? Well, this was done in a sort of Jurassic Park meets Hunger Games experiment, except instead of reviving dinosaurs, I revived our friend, the original cell. I then put him in a survival of the fittest battle against the evolved cells. Just like in the Hunger Games, the competitor which outlives the other is deemed the fitter of the two. So at the end of my experiment, I know A, which is the fitter cell, but also B, the mutations which made it the fitter cell. From my results, I am beginning to understand the mutations that meant the difference between life and death on Earth 2 billion years ago. These mutations are still in us today, and they allow us to use this double-edged sword to our advantage, but may also influence how we evolve in the future. Thank you very much.